Bags down, spikes on. Welcome to the track. Hi, my name's Colin Weitzman. I'm going to be your host for this episode of Track World News. And today we have a very special guest, first athlete returning back to the pod. We have Mr. Shaun Maswanganyi coming out of Houston by way of South Africa, Olympic qualifier, World Championship qualifier in the 200 meters. Shaun, welcome back. How you doing, man?
I'm great, thanks, and you. Thank you for having me again.
Of course. Thanks for coming back. Before we get started, wanted to start off with a moment of silence. Something that you lost about a month ago. Your blue check mark on Twitter. Wanted to set out my prayers to your blue check mark. I know that it's long gone. Now with Twitter blue here, who knows what the future holds, but I wanted to send out my condolences for you. I know you must be going through a tough time.
Hey, it's actually a funny story because people warned me. They're like, hey, if you change your Twitter name, you actually will lose your verification. At the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, I know it's going to happen, but hopefully I should be able to reapply. I mean, I have my documents and everything, and they should just accept it, because the main reason why I changed my IG or my Twitter name was that there was some people would come to me on the game days and football games and basketball games here at UH, and then they'll be like, yeah, I know you, bro. I watch your stuff all the time. And then they try to call me by my actual IG user. They never call me Shaun, so they'll try to call me by my IG, my IG or my Twitter name, and that's half of my first name, obviously. So they'll butcher that a lot. I'm like, bro, I need to make sure I give them something they can pronounce, So I was like, okay, let me just say Shaun M or something like that. So as soon as I change, I click everything and I just say change, and then boom, within seconds, the blue check mark is gone. So I'm not stressing at the time, because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna reapply. As soon as I reapply, I'm like, okay, 30 minutes later, I should see it again. I check back 30 minutes later, my blue check mark has been denied. I'm like, hold on. And then they're like, you gotta wait 30 days before you can reapply again. So I text the media marketing lady who works for UH. I'm like, my blue check mark's gone, and I applied and they're denying it. What should I do? They're like, what articles do you use? I'm like, I just searched some articles I seen on myself, and I just use those. They're like, oh yeah, if it's over a 3-month span, they don't work. So you gotta get the most recent. So I'm like, oh my God. At the time, it was 4 months after Worlds and stuff like that. So I'm like, well, I gotta wait till the season starts and then try again.
So it's gonna be gone for maybe another month or so. But I saw that you're trying to figure out the new name. But do you had some new names available? It wasn't because I know maybe Instagram you mentioned there's a couple of people that had names already taken for you or whatever it was.
Yeah. Because I mean, even with Instagram, I can't even change my name at all. Instagram doesn't give me the option to. I think I'd have to get an agent or some sort to actually change it for me. But me and myself, I can't change it. Even if I want to take away the blue check and then apply again, they're not giving me that option. So yeah, but Twitter right now, I just use one Shaun_M, because Shaun_M is already taken by some account from 2009 with no followers, and it's like that. It's really like that. So I just took something more simpler so people can actually remember. So yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll get that back sometime soon. Get some articles. You should have ran cross country. You would have been able to get have the articles up on you or something like that.
I wish. I actually tried cross country in high school. It wasn't for me.
Oh no.
It's decent, but I was not going to be the best at that. It was not for me.
Yeah, I think you made the right decision sticking to the sprint. So good.
Yeah.
So obviously right now World Cup's going on for those. Soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. But I saw a lot of kind of trash talk on Team USA from you. Want to know where the hate's coming from, and why. I saw you cheering on you put on the Netherlands flags or something. Absolute hater. What's going on with you and the US national team hate?
Really, it's everything. Every time USA says it's USA against the world, and Americans always think they're the best in everything. And I'm like, yeah, you guys are the best in basketball. I'll give you guys that. But football, y'all are American football. You guys are the only ones that play that, and baseball. So whenever you guys say world champions, we're like, well, we don't really play these sports. So you're world champions by default. because no one else plays these sports. If you come and play other sports, it's a little bit of a different playing field, you know. So obviously with yeah, I mean, I watch a lot more football than I used to actually back then, because like in high school, I wasn't watching it that much, because every day we'd wake up in the morning in boarding school and like 7 a.m, people are already arguing about Messi, Ronaldo at 7 a.m, you know. So like eventually I got tired of those conversations, so I drifted away from football a little bit, but I'll still like watch every now and then. So yeah, but when USA was playing, I'm like, man, I need these guys to get knocked out because they're gonna keep calling it soccer. So you know, that was the whole conversation, you know, and then the jokes and everything. So Twitter was just a meme fest. But you know, overall, like it's been a great World Cup. Really, for me, this is the best World Cup I've ever watched. Like, because I watched 2006, so I can remember vividly a little bit. I watched 2010 because it was hosted in my country. I watched 2014. 2014 was not that amazing. It was okay. And then 2018, it was like not as entertaining. 2020, 22, I'd say it has the most vibe. Like more people are engaging. You can see like Twitter circles. Everyone's just, you know, even people who don't watch soccer, like at school, you'd literally see them stop at the screen and watch because USA was playing and stuff, you know, and that just shows that, you know, soccer is such a big game and like it brings people together.
Yeah, I mean, my job had like a watch party for the World Cup. They're like, all right, we're stopping work so we can watch the U.S. team. This was, I think it was versus England. I think it was that game. Yeah. So we all just stopped all of our stuff, and I was just like, this is insane. Like, just like the whole thing is stopping for this. So it's like it's huge. But what nation are you having winning it all? The rest of the world?
I think it's really gonna be between France and Brazil. Yeah, France really has the most depth in terms of like quality players that actually know how to play together. But Brazil also has the talent as well. So it's really between them. People are thinking Argentina is going to take it all the way through. I mean, you know, maybe because of Messi and like the team right now is the best Argentina's had in a couple of years. So obviously they think that. But I don't know. I don't think, as much as I'm a Ronaldo fan, I don't think Ronaldo's going to make it all the way through. Portugal has a little bit of inconsistency. So there's that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for those that are listening or watching, this is being recorded on Sunday the 4th. So if any of Shaun's picks seem like, bro, they're both out, or, you know, they already won, that's why. So that's got to give some context to let you know when this is happening. So
yeah,
cool. Got some questions for you on a couple tweets that you put out. So first, this was November 25th, 2022. So very recently. It was a simple thing: apartments versus flats.
Yeah.
Which do you call it? What was the reason for this tweet to go out in the world?
It was definitely the England versus USA game, you know. So obviously South Africa is obviously a former British colonial country. So obviously I grew up calling it flats, and you know, when I came here, people were like apartments. And then that's why the whole thing came, because like obviously USA and England clashing against each other's battle of which English stands on top. So yeah.
Okay, there you go. All right, makes sense when you take a look at the context. So do you still when you're at home, do you call it flats or do you call it?
I'm too used to it. I'll call it apartments now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your friends like look at you crazy when you use like American kind of like verbiage now? Or?
Yeah, sometimes. But I mean, Americans also look at me like that sometimes when I use a lot of English language, you know, even just like when they say napkin versus a serviette, like people look at me so crazy. They're like, what are you asking for? I'm like, a serviette. And they're like, what is that? Like, I'm like, I don't know, like a serviette, like tissue. I don't know. So, you know, I always get like those funny remarks like, dude, who taught you that? Like, how do you just say that? I'm like, I don't know. That's just what I'm used to, you know. But it's always funny to have those little encounters. You realize that despite it being the same language, there's such like a different array of words and choices that people just use for everyday communication.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard serviette at all my entire life until literally at this exact moment. That's crazy.
Really?
Never heard it. Like when you said that, if you just told me, yeah, can you grab me a serviette? I'd be pulling out everything in the drawer. You'd be getting like glass. Yeah. No idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, yeah, even like cutlery. When I say cutlery, people are like, dude, what are you talking about? You talking about silverware? I'm like, silverware, I guess, but just use the cutlery, you know? So it's quite I always find it amazing. I'm like, yes, really don't use these words, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's like
Yeah.
completely different with the
Yeah.
slime for sure. Next one. This was, I think, September 5th, 2022. You guys need to be honest about turkey bacon. So
Yeah.
which side of this debate are you on? Are you team turkey bacon is great or team turkey bacon is trash?
Turkey bacon is trash. Yeah, I've tried it. Nah, it just tastes like rubber. Like it's not for me. I think Grant was also speaking about it, and Fambula. We just like, bro, like, how do you guys eat this? I guess it's just an alternative, obviously, for actual bacon, because like they say bacon's not that good for you and stuff like that. So I guess people just decided to settle for turkey bacon, and I guess if you eat it so much, you end up enjoying the taste. I don't know, but to me, no.
Yeah.
I don't even eat bacon that much anymore, anyways. But overall, I'm like, nah, turkey bacon is not the one.
Yeah, turkey bacon's trash. I'm in agreement with you. Like I used to eat it like when I was a little kid, because like
Yeah.
just some of the stuff that I would eat just as a little kid. I'm like, how did you think that like that was good? Like I ate a Lunchable recently to see if I actually liked it. That thing was trash. I'm like, I thought this was like gourmet cuisine as like a kid.
Yeah.
And now it's like, nah, this is
Nah.
garbage. Like how did I
Yeah.
how did I think this was good food? So no, yeah, I'm with you with that. Yeah, no, it's not it. It's not it. But cool. So now you're getting started for this year, junior year now?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you athletically or academically? I know with COVID, it kind of moved
Yeah,
stuff
everything is
around.
kind of like messed up a little bit, but like indoor, I think indoor I'm a sophomore now. I'm gonna be a sophomore indoor, and I'm gonna be a junior outdoor.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
go. It's so strange like how things are going. I'm used to seeing some people in NCAA. I'm like, I swear we started as freshmen. Aren't you like
Yeah.
seventh year,
Yeah.
eighth year? Like it's okay. So
Because even last year or like this past season, indoor season, like I won freshman of the year. People are like, bro, you've been in college for a year, bro. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, I didn't have an indoor season my freshman year, really. So that's why.
yeah. There you go. All right. So it makes sense. Makes sense. But this year, going into your junior year or sophomore year, how are you feeling about this season? Like coming into it, you've been able to compete at a high level in the NCAA as well as a high level like on the international stage. So like, how are you feeling going into the season?
I feel pretty good. And despite like this past season being very challenging for me, both, well, not even really just physically and mentally, because health-wise, I didn't realize I had like so many health complications as I was going through the season. Despite the actual hamstring injury that I was like trying to nurse, I didn't know that like I had thyroid issues and I had like hypothyroid. So that was like affecting me like performance wise, because I would always wonder like my body is just not recovering from my workouts and so forth. And thyroid is not really a quick fix. So it's really a matter of like, okay, finding the right diet that's gonna work for you and so forth and so forth. Because you don't want to be so quick to take medication, because it could make it worse, side effects and everything. So, and I'm like not a big medication guy. I usually just I try to be as natural as possible, because medication can eat as much as it can make you healthy again. It can also, the side effects can really affect you negatively. So for the most part, I just decided to like take it back. Every year I always make sure I get my blood work done. And just going into the season, I feel a lot better. Practice has been going good. Been consistent, and that's really what I strive for, because like my freshman year, I had the year I had because I was consistent all the way throughout fall training into the season, coming into the season from indoor, transitioning to outdoor. So, I want to keep that same consistency. Workouts have changed a little bit, because last year, yeah, Carl was killing us. He was killing us with the workouts. And on top of that, I had the thyroid thing. So it was really just like double times the trouble. I mean, but it's things like that build mental strength, and mentally I'm like, okay, even though I had all these complications, I was still able to go 10-0, I was still able to go 20.2, which isn't far away from my freshman year's PRs with these issues, so it's like, okay, build from that now, carry on. Like I need to make sure that I'm still doing the same things, because really if I don't get the basics right, obviously it's not going to translate into a very good season overall. But I'm very motivated for this season. I mean, some people already had their first meet this past weekend, and I've seen them hit some solid marks, and things like that make me excited to run track again. Like sometimes it's good to take a little break and no meets and stuff, and then just kind of like focus on gradually training and then leading your way into the season. And that's why like I don't believe in December meets, but whenever people run December meets and they popping out, I'm like, okay, it's never a free run track wise. Like you're never gonna have like a easy run. Someone is always gonna be there. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, right now, like you mentioned, so we just had some people, get started this past, I guess when this is coming out, this past week. So do you get like FOMO when you see some people like, okay, they're starting to compete and it's like, oh man, like I'd like to be on the track, or are you like, okay, yeah, it's nice that you did this. Let me wait a little bit till I'm.
I mean, I think the latter. So for me, I'll be like, oh, okay, congrats, bro, whatever. But think about it, for us internationals, a good chunk of us are going to have like a very long season. I mean, if you look at the next season, it's going to be ending around September. So really, school's even going to start next year, and also World Champs will still be going on. So World Champs ends, I think, after like the third week of school has started. So that's going to be quite a long season. That's probably going to be my longest college or longest season period, from January all the way through to mid-September. So you think about it that you want to be conservative, you still want to run fast, and you still want to look after yourself and everything, but you need to realize that it's a long season. You don't need to run every single race. And the nice thing about it is that even though like there's such a long season like that, I can, as soon as my college season ends, I can take a break, taper down, ease down, and then build back up, because I mean, World Champs is only in, like I said, September. So this year was a little bit different because June was when my season ended, my college season ended, and then July World Champs was there, So my freshman year was a lot better as well, because it was June, NCAA ended, and then Olympics was in August. So I had like a big span to taper down, pick back up. I didn't even run many meets. Actually, I didn't run any meets at all in my freshman year during the summer. I just went from NCAA straight to Olympics. It was nerve-wracking, but now I think obviously I know how to deal with that, because I coped with it pretty well then. So I just know that when I'm in good shape and I've had some quality races underneath me, like everything else a lot better, because really racing is about the nerves. And like if you're really confident in your race and you've been able to duplicate your race time and time again throughout the whole season, you feel more confident, you trust your race pattern even more, and you don't worry about if you're in shape or not. And that kind of confidence is what separates you from running your PR or close to your PR to running like a 10-2 or 10-3. So, especially at this level. So, just overall, it's about just understanding that, everyone is different. Some guys only want to focus on the college season, which is okay. But like everyone has different goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like speaking of, I guess, goals or just this upcoming year, are there any athletes that like, especially like within the college scene, that you like really look forward to like lining up against? Like whether it's like, yeah, we're really good friends and I like racing against my friends, or like, hey, I don't like this guy for whatever reason, I want to beat him. Is there anyone you're like, oh yeah, when I see them on the line, like, okay, I'm a little more juiced up?
I think it's everyone who's beaten me, because I could, before my sophomore year, I could count the amount of people that beat me in college. It was Joseph and Terrence Laird. Those are the only two people who beat me my whole freshman year, except indoor, I guess, because I made it to indoor nationals. I was undefeated indoor until indoor nationals, and then indoor nationals I just bombed out. Like I just slipped in the blocks, and then I got dusted. I came like 6th or 7th. I don't remember who beat me in that race. I didn't really care about that race, because indoor for me was just like just another day. But Terrence Laird and Joe are the only ones who beat me in college leading up to my sophomore year. Then my sophomore year, I guess I'm looking forward to racing Devontae again from USC. Because he did run that 9.9 on my head. So Devontae, if you're watching this, bro, I need to get my leg back. And then we got pretty much everyone else in the 100 and 200 finals. So Matt, me and Matt, we've been going at it again, like against each other. Micah, let me see, who else? Trying to think. Even in the 200,
Favor was in that too.
Yeah, Favor was that, because Favor came second, and then Javonte Harding. Same, because you pretty much see the same guys all in all throughout in the finals or at NCAA. So, I always look forward to race those guys. I'm like, hey, dog, I have a chip on my shoulder. Now I'm coming in. I'm like, well, I had a horrible sophomore year. Well, not horrible, but like I didn't have the year I wanted. But I need to come back and put my name out again. It's like I'm an underdog again. So I look forward to that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like going to be really close, especially within the sprints. Like, actually, right before I recorded this, so people that are watching this know, but I was making my Bowerman list of who my people are. And like, I was like, all right, this person, like, damn, this is pretty much the entire starting lineup of the 100
Yeah,
that like have like a really great opportunity to like be the best athlete of the year. Like, is that
yeah,
something that you think about of like, hey, I know they're about to release, who the actual winner is, which I don't understand why they do it in December when the season
yeah.
ends in June, but that's whatever. Uh, is that something that you think about at all? Like, hey, like that's an award that would be nice to win. You're in because you're in that cusp, or you're at least in some of those conversations.
Yeah, I've thought about it time and time again. I was really looking forward to like going at it this year, but obviously I didn't have the year I wanted because my freshman year I actually got on the watch list straight after conference when I did the triple in conference, and then I had run 98, 99, windy, and then we won the 4x1. That's when I was like on the radar. They're like, okay, wait, like who is he? Which is not kind of like not who is he, but like, okay, he also has a shot. So at the time it was me, it was Terrence, and then there was a couple of other guys as well. I think Javon Harrison. So like they're like, okay, clearly he's also a threat to watch out for, So like when I had finished my season the way I did it in NCAAs, and because I had medaled in the 100 and the 200, and then the 4x1 is when we dropped the stick. So when the Bowman for like indoor came out, I was like not even on the watch list. I was like, okay, I should be upset, but at the same time I didn't have a good indoor season. But I did have a great outdoor season, but like, I didn't have a good indoor season. But I was not on the watch list at all last year, not even once. So I was like, okay, no, I'm just using that as a chip on my shoulder again, just motivation, because they still, I can do it. I've been on the watch list already, and I was nowhere near the potential I feel like I could have reached. So now I just need to obviously sit back, reevaluate, and take a different approach for a better result.
Yeah, I mean, you're at a great place where being able to potentially go, sub 20 in the 2 as well as sub 10 in the 100. It's like there's not many athletes in this world that have the ability to do that, especially like in the college system. Like I'm thinking of who are some of those people. It's like it's a pretty short list, and so like yeah, being able to do that would be like okay, yeah, this could be my chance. But
Yeah.
seeing who, so the finals, like the finalists for the men and the women. I don't know if you're following that.
Nah, I didn't even follow much of it actually.
Okay. I was gonna say who would your pick be, but if you didn't follow it much, then yeah.
No, I mean, give me the names. I'll remember the names.
Yeah, so it was eight for the men. It was Aiden Owens. It was, oh man. Okay, let's start with the women because I remember the women. Cameron Rogers.
Yeah.
Then Kentucky woman. Why am I drawing a cute? Abby Steiner. And then Anna Hall. Those were the 3 for the women.
Ooh. That's a tough one. I mean, because they don't even look at, the crazy part is they don't look at the international season at all unless it's within the NCAA. So
yeah,
a tough stance. But I'd say the Cameron Rogers, because she's a thrower, huh?
Yeah, hammer thrower.
She had a crazy season. So I'm between Cameron Rogers or no, I don't know. I'll say Anna Hall as well. Yeah, I'd say it's either 1 or 2. It's between them because like Abby, her pinnacle I guess was at World Champs. That's when she really did that. So like now I'm like, okay, like yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
But either way, you're not gonna go wrong with any of the choices because like Abby still had a great season as well. So like I wouldn't be upset whoever they pick there, but because it's really just marginal at the point. I'm trying to remember the guys because the guys.
Yeah, it was Aiden. I remember it now. It was Aiden Owens, Trey Cunningham, and Randolph Ross. Those are the 3.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know how. Okay, because like with the whole Bauman thing, I thought it was because like because I mean, it can go either way. It's either you can look at it as who is the best of the best at the event, or who has the best depth in terms of range. Like hypothetically speaking, if I win the 100, 200, and the 4x1, and let's say it's not collegiate like breaking marks versus someone who just runs a collegiate record, how you gonna compare the Bauman? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a perfect example of Joe who did that this year,
Yeah. And
and
they
they
didn't
didn't
put,
they didn't even
yeah,
put him in the
that's what I'm
finals.
saying.
Yeah,
So I'm like, how you do like how he almost did the triple threat because he
yeah.
came second.
And
And
they
then you
came
know what I'm
second
saying?
in the 4x1. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, you do that and you're not a Bauman topless. That's to me, I can't comprehend that because anyone who's done that, Christian Coleman ran the 100, 200, and he broke the collegiate record in the 100. I don't think his 4x1 even had a shot, but then obviously he broke the collegiate record. That's why it makes sense why he won it that year. Grant had ran. Okay, that year he was crazy because I
yeah.
think he won the 60,
Yeah,
the
because he
long
did
jump.
long jump and
Yeah,
the
he was
60.
doing everything.
Yeah, he
He
was
made
doing
sure
everything.
you couldn't cheat him. You couldn't cheat him
Yeah,
that, but Divino Duduru, 4x1, I mean, the 100, the 200, 4x1, I don't even think they stood a chance. But he won that. And then, he won the Bauman that year, I think. Did he win it? Yeah, he did.
yeah.
So,
2018, I think it was. Yeah, somewhere
yeah,
there.
2018, yeah, when, no, I think it's
Was that?
2019, because that 20 was at Texas.
Oh yeah.
It
Okay,
was at
that's what it
Texas.
was. Okay.
That's when he smashed it. He ran like 9.8 and then went 19.7. Like,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. So he had that type of season, and Joe went like 10-0 and 19.8. He didn't even make top three. That's
Yeah.
insane to me. That's really insane to
He got a
me.
pat on the
So,
back. That's all it was.
yeah, like that's really, for me. I feel like he was cheated for that because, like, I don't know, but then again, Aiden Owens, Trey, Randolph, because Randolph didn't break the collegiate record, so I don't know. I'd say really, they probably gonna give it to either. I think Aiden Owens. I think they're gonna give it to Aiden Owens because he was dominant indoor and outdoor.
Yeah, I loved seeing their back and forth, him and Kyle Garland,
Yeah,
like at the national meets. Like it was
yeah,
like, oh, it was great to watch. So should be
yeah.
cool. Hopefully we'll be able to see you on that podium this year, or
That's
this
the
time next
plan.
year. We'll have to see.
That's the plan.
We'll have to see. Um, cool. And so now, like this season, a little different than previous years you had at Houston. Obviously, Coach Burrell ends up he's going to Auburn this year. So now I think Coach Lewis takes the helm. What's it been like? Have you noticed? Is there anything that's different about practice or different about the team that you're like, that you notice, whether it's for the good, for the bad, or just things being different?
I'll say there's not much of a difference now there isn't because like we had already transitioned because when Coach Burrell was on like a little break, dealing after his, like the dealing with the passing, we were already used to functioning without him. So there was like systems in place. We're able to adjust and adapt and move people to certain positions to cover or play that role for him. And just with like our head coach right now, or like with Carl, the way the position he plays right now, and the director of track and field, he was the one who's playing Coach Burrell's part, making sure everything's organized, making sure that in terms of like the management part of things and handling the talks and everything like the discipline and everything, he was in charge of that already. So just the whole transitioning between him, Coach Burrell leaving abruptly and so forth, it wasn't much of a big shift because like I said, we've already been used to that. It's just a matter of like accepting that, like, well, yeah, he's gone, he's gonna leave us, but we still have a good relationship with him. And I mean, I was happy for him when he took the job because it was a good like break for him, just to like step away from UH and just start something new, something outside. So I'm happy for him. I mean, I still keep in contact with him. He's still a great guy. I can call him and ask him for advice if I need to. And yeah.
It's excited to see how he does there. I could only imagine, like, walking through the locker rooms or those facilities, like, hey, I have these memories of, that might make you more emotional than you want to be or whatever in school. So could completely get it. On the other side of things, like, congratulations with you. Like, you got elected, I believe, this year as team captain for Houston. Congratulations. Like, what does that mean to you that I'm not sure how your team votes on it, but I'm sure it's like, hey, your peers selected you as a leader on this team. Like, what does that mean to you? What does it mean?
I mean, I took this opportunity as just like another chapter in my life of leadership, or being able to like prove my leadership skills. Because I've always been told that I was a leader, And sometimes, I was a leader that was very outspoken, and I would very much speak because I'm a very good speaker. But at the same time, I could understand my role of being a silent leader. I could always do the best of both, And since my younger days, I've always been elected in leadership positions, even in high school and so forth. So, I just took it as another step of just proving my leadership skills and my leadership qualities, and just expanding on what I already know, because, you can't be a leader without learning. And I think I learned a great lot from just my everyday conversations with people, just teaching people certain things, or them teaching me something. And, because you never know where knowledge is going to come from. So for the most part, just me engaging with everyone on the team. I want to motivate. I want everyone to be the best. I'm not saying everyone's going to make the Olympics and world champs and stuff like that, but like, I want to make sure that the people around me are bringing the right energy and the right vibe to practice every day, because that's going to make them better, which is going to make me better, So it's like a tit for tat, like you rub my bag, I'll rub your bag type thing. So I know with good leadership, it brings great rewards overall in the future. And I've been surrounded by great leaders before. So I took off to them and I looked up to them. And for the most part, I want to implement the same thing they taught me. And I want to teach others that obviously need to be guided as well, because even though I'm a leader, I still seek to be guided by people in higher positions, or people with more influence, or people who, pretty much have been through more. And, like I say, it takes time. It takes time, obviously, but I never want to make my teammates feel like I'm Mr. Know-it-all. That's the key thing, I never want to make them feel like that. I want them to be able to come to me and ask me, like some guys in the team, they're my team, and they'll tell me like, bro, like, you understand how much I look up to you, whatever, and things like that. Like, I don't take it or a grain of salt, because it goes a long way, for someone to just say, like, especially because people are prideful, just for someone to be like that vulnerable and be like, yo, bro, like, thank you for helping me with this, whatever, I look up to you and so forth and so forth. I came here because of you, whatever. Because I remember this one practice, I was dying. And like, I wanted to lay down, but Coach Carl doesn't let us lay down. And this one time I was just holding my knees. And then this one guy came, he's a freshman. He came, he's like, hey bro, like, you got to work it out. He's like, I look up to you, bro. I got to see you. When I see you, bro, I want to be like you. So, you can't let me see you down. So then that really stuck with me, So and I'm like, he has a point. Just when you think people aren't watching, someone's always watching. Someone is always trying to learn from you. And for the most part, I want to be a great example.
Yeah, it's like there's people that are, like you said, get recruited to the school because it's like, I want to train with Shaun, or like, hey, I see him on the Olympics. Like, it's such a big like responsibility. Like, throw back to the Spider-Man movie, like, with great power comes great responsibility. Hey, getting elected to being a captain is an awesome honor, but it's like, hey, I got, like, it can be a heavy thing to carry. Especially, it's like, yeah, like you said, no, not everyone's going to make the Olympics. Most people are not, but it's like, how can I help my team get to the best they can be? It's like, hey, how can I help you score in conference? How can I help you get to the travel squad? How can I help you, get to whatever it is that you're going to be? It's like, that's what, I think being a good leader is. Not just like, I want everyone on this team to make, the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, just it's not going to happen,
Yeah.
For sure. But so some things that I saw, and I'm curious, what were these conversations like at Worlds? You got the pleasure to be able to meet Travis Scott, who came on out to the World Championship. How did you guys link up? What was the conversation like? Is he a Houston track fan? I know he's from Houston, so yeah. What was that moment like that you saw?
It was special because, leading up to World Champs and everything, I was feeling pretty good and everything because practice was actually going pretty well. So, excuse me. So like leading up to it, I was like, okay, I'm pretty excited, whatever. And then Carl told me, he's like, stay on the lookout on Twitter tomorrow, or like a couple of days from now. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, just watch. And then boom, like he announced the collab with like Travis Scott for like with Nike, and then the whole championship gear thing. So basically, if you win gold, in at World Champs, you get like especially if you're a Nike athlete, you get like a Nike swag bag with like Travis Scott merch and all this and that. So it was like a whole thing. It's like a big suitcase, and they had like a Nike event, and at the Nike event, they say Travis is gonna come out, And then for me, I was like, I don't know about that one, but okay, because like Carl and Travis had that interaction on Twitter, but I'm like at the same time they did have that interaction on Twitter, so he's probably here. So then I was at the night hospitality, and so I came down. I was coming down the stairs, and I look down. I look on my left. I see a figure like playing like ping pong. So I'm like, bro, I know these noise. That's Travis. So I'm like, no way, that's Travis, bro. So like, I walk in, I walk down, I get my band, I walk in. As soon as I walk, it's like slightly emptier because at the time, not many people knew he was there, and it was before he went to the actual track to show face. So for the most part, everyone is either at the track or in the hotels, whatever. So I came down, like it was like the perfect timing, and then I seen him. I was like, "Yo, what's up, Travis? Whatever." And he's like, "What's up?" And then I told him who I was, and then Carl was also there, and then like Carl introduced me, and then it's like, yeah, he's at UH, he's at Houston, he runs track, he does 100, 200, whatever. And then like when I spoke to Travis, he was like a cool guy, like. I didn't expect him to be that chill. Like he was like super chill. And then we spoke. Like I just told him about me, what I run, and then he said he's gonna be on the lookout. He's gonna be watching the sprints mainly. And then I was like, like can you get a photo, like a couple of photos or whatever. We got some photos, and then we just chill around. And then he's like most of the time he was hanging with Carl, and the Carl, and like they were watching like the meet together. While like on the couches, and then like we took some photos around the whole like facility and whatever, and then we toured the building that was showing him, this way you make your custom shirts and so forth. So like overall that experience was like it was like that's a Hall of Fame lap experience. I'm not forgetting that. I don't care what anybody says, I'm not forgetting that moment. That moment is special to me. So
that had to be sick. I saw I remember like when the rumors were going around that he was there. It was like one photo would be like, oh, is Travis Scott's in the Eugene airport? Why the hell is he at the airport? And like, it was like, oh, is that him there? So like, I remember like that whole thing. And then it was like, I was there like 3 days later. I like just missed it. I was like, man, I'm pissed. Like I should have gone like a day earlier. I could have seen Travis. That's cool though. That had to be dope.
I was, and for the most part, like it was crazy because like when I was with him, like there weren't other athletes around. It was just like me, Carl, his team, like Travis's team, and like a few like of the Nike execs still there in the Nike hospitality. So it was like perfect timing. So like I didn't have to rush the convo, he didn't have to rush me. We were like chilling. So then that was like really a special moment.
That's dope, man. Then I'm curious, like something that I liked a lot, and you guys did a few earlier, but the Instagram lives with a few guys. I know like Joe Devontae's in there. I think, you get Brendan in there. Are they going to be making a return for this track season? You guys doing those?
So once indoor really kicks off, and we have some extra time in our hand, we're gonna do more of those, because I remember this one live we did. It was me, it was Joe, I think Devontae, and then Matthew Bowling was on it. And like
I remember
like before Matthew Bowling on it, we got like 200 people, something like that. As soon as Matthew jumped, it went to like 800, 900 people. We're like, oh my God. And then like, we just had like regular track combos, and we're just sharing like our stories we remember from like nationals or regionals and stuff. And people always want to hear that stuff. So we're definitely gonna do more of those as the season progresses and stuff, because we're gonna see each other quite a bit. So Brendan's gonna come back. Devontae's not gonna run indoors. Obviously, Joe is pro now. But there's still other guys like Ishmael Cone. They're still gonna be around, and then some other guys as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
For sure. Speaking about track stories, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Do you have any like funny or interesting track stories from Worlds that like, or just any crazy thing that happened at the World Championship?
But I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I wouldn't say there was anything crazy, but like, cause every time like all the college guys, most of the time we were like always together. So like me, Joe, Dodi, some other guy from Michigan, his name was Dubem. He runs the 400. Ishmael, I think I mentioned Ishmael. Yeah, and like we're just all like hanging around it together every time, and we just like always messing around and stuff like that. But like overall, it was like a fun experience. Like it was really a fun experience because I've vlogged pretty much the whole week. So So yeah, but I can't think of anything crazy that really happened. I'm trying to remember. Nah, but I don't think anything crazy happened. Not like Tokyo. Tokyo was just I just seen some wild stuff, man. It just didn't make sense. Tokyo was just something else, but it's Tokyo's special. Yeah, Tokyo was actually pretty nice though.
And it was a lockdown one. So imagine in
Yeah.
2024 when like you can actually like do more stuff. Like
Yeah, because we couldn't even leave the village. That's the crazy part. Like you can't leave the village. You can't just walk out. Either every time you want to walk out, you go into the buses and the buses are taking you somewhere. You're never gonna be able to, you can't find yourself in the streets like where regular civilians are. No matter how much you try, like everything is just so isolated.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully the next one be able to move around a little bit.
Oh yeah. Paris be there for sure.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Shaun, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with us. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to this season for you. Where can people go if they wanted to, follow up on you on social media, anything like that?
I'd say I'm more active right now on TikTok as Shaun.Maswanganyi, SHAUN, and then that .MAS, and then it should pop up with the blue check on TikTok, and then Instagram TSHEDZO.M, and then Twitter Shaun _M. So that's why I'm pretty much gonna be posting everything. I'm gonna start vlogging again when the season actually starts, because I took a little break because school was just really rigorous and track was just practice and everything, and like it was just a whole thing. So I'll be back vlogging, and yeah, I'll be active on all my other social media platforms.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Shaun. And so, like you said, blue check on Instagram, TikTok, not on Twitter. He's a regular guy just like us. He has been humbled. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Peace.